Hi, thanks for joining me on Wilderness with the Monty. It has been snowing a lot the last few days, so I wasn't sure where to go, and I've ended up at Lake Davis, and it looks like we're going to be able to do some fishing. Sorry to my Patreon subscribers, I just fished this a couple of weeks ago for you guys, but I was going to go to Frenchman Lake this morning. Up until 10 minutes before I left, I just said, hey, what do you know? I'll look and see if the road's open, and sure enough, it was closed. There's houses on this road up to Davis, so I figured it'd probably have pretty good access, but the road wasn't bad at all. This is what it looked like. I'm about a mile away from the lake, and against the backdrop of what I expected, given how much snow had been falling, this is fantastic. I can actually see the road under the snow. So I'm here now, and I'm gonna get my snowshoes on and snowshoe out to the lake. I'm probably gonna fish in the same spot I did when I fished for Patreon a couple weeks ago, because A, I got a really nice fish, and B, searching around for a place to fish with snowshoes on while you're carrying all of this gear I'm carrying is not something you ever want to do. If you're someone who lives near where it snows and it's the winter and you're worried about not fitting into some outfit for a function in the spring, put on some snowshoes and start snowshoeing a few days a week for miles, and you'll fit into whatever outfit you need to fit into, because you'll lose all the necessary weight snowshoeing. You burn a lot of calories. For me, snowshoeing this time of year is always good because my hiking season's coming up really soon. It's already March 18th, and I think that we're pretty much going to be done with most of the snow. Now, if another week comes when there's just blizzard conditions, just remember I said that. If you watched my Patreon video from a couple weeks ago, I could have gone with or without my snowshoes. This is really deep snow, and it's powder. Look at that. I mean, I'm sinking down a foot into the powder with my snowshoes. I was looking at the weather on the news, and they showed the passes yesterday, and it looks stressful to drive on and dangerous because the road, the pass, the highway over the passes was just covered on the 80. Like I said, I could have gone with or without the snowshoes last time. If you don't got snowshoes in this deep snow, this deep powder, trudging through this would suck. It's not exactly skipping down the yellow brick road singing songs right now, but it's totally doable. You know, I was just here a couple weeks ago, and I'm kind of going in the same direction. It looks totally different. I think if I keep trudging through this way, I'm going through a campground right now, I'm gonna hit it. I just can't go down into this one low area because that was a pain last time. If it was a pain last time, it's gonna be a lot worse with the snow this deep. It's in the 20s right now, but it's gonna warm up to like 40 or high 30s at least. And that's why I have a big bag of layers. You don't want to wear layers when you're snowshoeing, but you definitely, once the warmth from the snowshoeing wears off, you're gonna want the layers, especially if a breeze kicks in. After saying I wanted to avoid this, I dropped down too early, and now I gotta battle up through that. And I was just trudging through snow up to my knees a minute ago. Now I'm sinking like up to 2 feet into this powder in these trees. But sometimes when you make a crappy bed, you gotta sleep in it. It's a story of my life. I can't believe it. I came out too soon. I came out where there's a cliff. I gotta go all the way back around and up over that over there. What have I done? The good news is, if I trudge up and over this and drop down, I'm pretty sure I'll be right where I want to be, which is the first time since I woke up today that I'm sure about something. All right. Home stretch. Right down there, I'm fishing. Oh man, my glasses are fogging up. This has been a trying experience just getting here. So here's my spot. Set up the camera over here, rods over there, flatten out a little pathway to run to my stuff, put my tarp over there, put my pack and my operating stuff on my tarp, and hopefully I'll get some nice rainbows to eat for dinner. So let's get started on getting set up. I'm just getting set up, and I can see my line's getting tight on my power bait. I don't even have my night crawler in the water yet. So I leave that bow in my line, and then I'll just let him swim with it, because I'm looking for food. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah. My line's been in the water for like a couple of minutes, and I already got a nice rainbow for dinner. And I'm looking for a couple of days of food here, and I don't think this fish fits that bill. So let's see what we got. That's a good fish though. I don't need much more than this. This could be a really short day looking at this thing. Let's see where this guy's hooked. I might let him go if he's not hooked bad. With already having a rainbow like this packed in the snow, see the good thing about fishing this time of year? He can go right there. This could be a short day. So the good thing about getting a big fish like that right in the opening, because that's 2 big meals for me, is anything else I catch that's hooked on the outside of the mouth where I can easily just pop the hook out, revive the fish and let it go, I'm gonna do that. The statewide regulations are 5, that's the limit. My personal limit is how much fish I can eat fresh, packed in snow in the cooler without having to freeze it. And once I hit that limit, I'm done for the day. So if I can let another fish go, if I'm lucky enough to get one, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm soaking full crawlers in power bait. Go to my fishing tips playlist, and you can see exactly how I rig up. And then I have other videos that show the specific types of hooks I use, everything. So if you're like a family that's going to be going camping this summer at a lake like Folsom Lake or something like that, Lake Don Pedro, wherever you're going, and you've never been fishing and you're bringing kids and you want to get them, take them out for a nice day of fishing and maybe catch some fish and cook it up and add that to your experience, you can achieve that very easily with the videos on my fishing tips playlist. So hopefully we can get more kids off the video games, off the TikTok, out of the house, and fishing. I was messing with my camera. I got another one already. This might be the shortest day in history if I have this fish hooked. He's all wrapped up in my other line. Get out of that line, boy. Let's see what we got here. This fish hooked himself. So there's a good chance I have him in the corner of the mouth. I use really small size 18 hooks. When the fish hit it hard, the bigger trout, the hook seems to grab the last thing there. And if you see it, it's just in the corner of his mouth. So I can just pop that hook out and I can keep fishing. But the fishing is really hot today. I was just looking at the video. I got him in the water and it's cold and he's barely hooked, so he's kind of reviving right now. I just have to get my tool to get it out. But, I mean, I threw it out. My power bait was only out there for like 3 minutes before that fish, wham, wham. If I can see the hook like I can this one, it's right there. I'll let him sit here for a second, but this water's freezing. So he's gonna be fine to go. And it's a nice trout. It's a perfect size for eating, but I want to fish more. I've only been here for like 10, 12 minutes or so. So I snowshoed. It was really hard to get out here. I want to fish a little bit more, but once I have 2 good-sized fish, I'm done. Get my hands wet. There he goes. And he's happy to go back to his icy lair. Right now, I'm leaving my lines pretty slack, and with the slip sinker setup, you can see him swimming away with the line. But I was messing with my camera when that fish hit, and it was just pulling, and my rod holder is secure, thank goodness, because my rod was doubled over, and I had switched my camera to taking photos, and I looked and saw that I had 3 photos on there, and I'm not doing photos right now, I'm shooting video, so obviously you can see the difficulty of that situation. So here's how small those size 18 treble hooks I use for power bait are, and I mean I've caught enough big trout that just take it like that to know that this thing just grabs the last thing in their mouth as they're swimming away. And if you want to let more fish go, go with the tiny hook. It doesn't dig into them that deep, and this ends up a lot of times in the corner of their mouth. If I'm just letting them take it and they're biting it and then they're biting it, a lot of times they'll swallow it then. But on that big fish hit where your pole just goes, I'd say like 80% of the time I can see the hook when I'm reeling it in, and that's my goal. This time of year, you don't have to throw it out very far. I got both those fish at about a 15 count. I'm using a 1/4 ounce sinker from the time it hits the water to the bottom. The last time I was here, I got a big rainbow at like a 7 count, like just beyond where you could see the bottom. The fish are everywhere this time of year. The big fish are up close. In the summertime, not so much. This time of year, it's wide open. In one of my recent videos, someone asked if I lived in my car. It was probably because I was wearing this. And just on the list of things that I gotta buy, a new quilted flannel is not anywhere on that list in the top 10. So as long as it keeps me warm, I don't care. If there was a Where Are They Now segment for Oliver Twist, he'd probably be wearing something like this. Stay on the power bait today. There we go. There we go. Got a podcast going I had to turn off. This could be it. It could be a short day. Because this is a pretty good fish. Get away from that other line, boy. Woo! All right. How about this? We'll do the old switcheroo. Get under there. There we go. It's a beautiful looking fish. If I can let him go, I will. But if I can't, he's gonna be in my belly. I actually have a friend at work that wants to try trout, so maybe he'll get this one. Woo! See what we got. See where the hook is. He has a pretty quick hook set. Yeah. I'm gonna show you where that hook is. This is what I mean by the size 18. Oh, hook already popped out of his mouth. See that? I barely had this fish. It's a nice fish too. But it's only 11 o'clock and I want to fish a little bit more. Once I get one that swallows it, I'm done for the day. If I get 3 of these fish, I'll eat so much fish I'll start growing scales and gills, and I don't need gills. I like to breathe air. Check that out. That's a beautiful big rainbow. Beautiful fish. Great genetics. Let's get those genetics back into the pool. Right when I looked in his mouth opened up. I saw, because he hit that really hard and hooked himself. And as I said, these small hooks, it sucks tying these onto your line because they poke your fingers and they're really sharp. But once you get them on there, that fish hit my line and hooked himself. He was hooked right under the top of his mouth, just inside. And when I grabbed the line, the hook just went pop, popped right out. So that was a successful catch and release. And I'm not done for the day because I don't feel like being done for the day. I feel like catching at least one more fish. I bring this up in a few of my videos. One of the things that just really keeps me addicted to fishing is when you see that bite, or I'm fishing an alpine lake and I see a trout cruising and I got my fly, you get that primitive adrenaline rush, that feeling in the pit of your stomach that I'm sure like early humans that lived in caves felt when they saw a fish, where you're just, oh, 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 you get excited, you see the bite, it's like, oh, 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 and it's like full caveman mode. You can strip away all the civilization, and it goes to that primitive reaction when you see the bite, or if you're a hunter and you see a deer, you just feel that rush. Oh, 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 you know? And back then it was just so you could barely stay alive, you know? You have life expectancy of like 27. And I guess I'm just going to settle for this one big fat rainbow. It's just short of 18 inches. And that's easily 2 meals for me. The fishing just shut off. Like, I got those 3 fish back to back, and then the other one was like 20 minutes later, and they were hitting hard on the junk food. It was like they were lining up in the In-N-Out drive-thru. They were just one after another, and then it just shut down. And that's how this cold weather fishing can be. But once all the snow melts, the fishing's going to be good. Doesn't matter what mountain reservoir it is. Where's the good place to go? Look at a map, find a lake within driving range of you that's at about, 4,000 feet or higher, where it's going to get a lot of snow melt. The water's going to get really cold. Go to my fishing tips playlist if you never did this kind of fishing before. Do what I do in my rigging for reservoir trout clip, and you'll catch fish. Oh, looks like we're getting one. Looks like we're not quite done yet. There we go. Uh-oh. No, that wasn't a double header. That was that. This is a good fish. Because this is my bigger rod. And he hit the night crawler. The night crawler was like sitting at the dance alone. Nobody wanted to dance with the night crawler. If I can let this fish go, I will, but we'll see. It's always when I'm ready to quit. It looks like I'm going to keep this fish too. That's a big rainbow here. So the revised lineup went from just under 18 inches to just over 18 inches, and this thing is fat. So as I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, just find a lake where there's snow, the snow melts, goes in, makes the water cold, and the big rainbows, these ones look wild. They were spawned in whatever inlet creek is here. But even if they're stocked fish, those stocked fish, they call them holdovers. The ones that they plant the year before or the fall before, and then they grow. You'll get some really nice 16-inch pink meat rainbows. These fish are gonna have deep red orange meat. I know, because I just ate one a couple weeks ago. It was a great day out at Lake Davis, and start looking to the mountain reservoirs. And if you go to my lakes and reservoirs fishing playlist, you can see a lot more fishing like this. Hope you had a great time out here with me on Wilderness with Amani. And to sign off, in caveman speak to capture an earlier theme in the video. Until next time.